Hi trainers, how's it going? I hope your games are going well. The first ranked season is coming to an end on the 7th of November at 4:59 p.m. PST. For those who are still not yet in Master, there isn't a lot of time left to grind, and just a reminder, these are the rewards for the season. 2,000 AOS tickets for beginner, 4,000 tickets for great, 6,000 tickets and this outfit as well for expert, 10,000 tickets for veteran, 15,000 tickets for ultra, 20,000 tickets for master. Tickets can be used to purchase item enhancers for item leveling or some cosmetics. If you reach a higher tier and then rank down, don't worry, you will get the rewards for the highest rank you reach. For those who are not yet master and are still grinding, here are some of my quick tips to help you reach the highest rank possible. I also have a more in-depth video on how I reach master, which I will link down below. I'm Teeds, I played MOBAs for over 9 years and my goal is to help you become the very best like no one ever was. Feel free to subscribe and click the bell for more Pokemon Unite guides, news and gameplays. So these are my top 5 solo queue tips. Please keep in mind that there are tons of more in-depth tips, but to make this video short and sweet, I have tried to compact the ones I find to be the most important. Feel free to leave more tips in the comments down below to help out our fellow players. Tip number 1, don't play Pokemon you do not feel comfortable with, even if you're trying to fill a role. Defender and supporters are probably the hardest Pokemon to carry with, and if you're someone who does not play these roles but want to fill it because no one else wants this role and do not feel comfortable with these Pokemon, it's honestly better to just play a Pokemon you're good at. It is also easier to reach master using Pokemon you can carry with. It's much harder to carry using Snorlax or an Eldegoss. You'll be putting a lot of faith into your random teammates, but unfortunately, matchmaking in Pokemon Unite isn't really there at the moment, which makes this hard. It's definitely not impossible to use defenders and supporters to reach master rank solo queue, but I do find it to be more difficult. Another good thing to remember with this tip is that sometimes meta comps and meta plays just do not work in solo queue. Tip number 2, farm, farm, and farm. Levels are extremely important in Pokemon Unite and each level gives you increased damage, health, and defenses. Having a level advantage over your enemies makes such a huge difference. Try to deny your enemies farm by stealing their farm. Make sure to rotate for Dreadnought. Even with its nerf, Dreadnought in my opinion is still a very important objective for the experienced lead. Tip number 3, in most cases, don't die for Rotom and Dreadnought. If the enemy takes Rotom and they're all there and you're the only one there, it's better to just leave it. If you're dead, that is the time you can't use to catch up in experience or create win conditions. If you're the only one at Dreadnought and no one is rotating, do not risk your life for a risky steal and instead, again, just farm to try and catch up to the enemy. This doesn't go for every scenario, sometimes you can steal safely, but it really depends on the situation, the enemy team positioning, and what Pokemon you are using. With this tip, it's important to not overstay if your team successfully grabs Dreadnought. Score some points in the first goal if you can, but once you grab Dreadnought, it's important to farm again and then rotate to Rotom for pressure. Another way you can counter no rotations to Dreadnought is to call top lane, so that way you know you will at least rotate to Dreadnought. Also, if an ally is not rotating but they're managing to keep maybe like at least 2 of the enemies on top lane with them, that is also good as well. Tip number 4, Zapdos. If you're winning, do not do Zapdos. Defend it. This happened a lot in my solo queue games where we would be winning by a lot, only for someone on my team to try and solo Zapdos, bring it to low health, and the enemy swoops in to steal it. If you're winning, your team does not need Zapdos. Of course, there are times when you can wipe out the enemy team and you are safe to do so, and if you're losing, you have to do everything in your power to take Zapdos, since it's the only way to win. You can do this by starting Zapdos, forcing the enemy team to reveal themselves and then focus on wiping them out, or you can try to get Zapdos as low as possible to 50-50 it. The thing with Zapdos fights is that it does make some players panic, and because communication is so hard in solo queue, even the winning team can easily choke on Zapdos due to coordination issues. Tip number 5, and I find this to be the most important, don't be too hard on yourself and take breaks. In solo queue, I experienced losing streaks. I got incredibly frustrated at times, and sometimes I had this mentality of, I don't want to stop playing until I win at least one game. But sometimes that just resulted in more losses, and that could have been because I was playing more frustrated. When you're already frustrated, every small thing your team does that you do not agree with will anger or frustrate you more. And that can still impact your gameplay, even if you don't feel it. So please take breaks and do something else you enjoy. Even just a 10-minute break can help a lot and bring you back into the game with a fresh mindset. I'd also like to post this tweet from one of my friends, fellow content creator and Discord mod Kaiju. She focuses a lot of her content around mental health, and she's honestly one of the most wholesome and sweetest I've met in the community. So Kaiju posted, remember to preserve your mental health above all else. Don't lose your mind to terrible matchmaking mechanics. Wherever you got this season is wonderful, my friends. Don't push yourself for a day's worth of dopamine. There is always next season. Her YouTube is linked down below and is a great place to be, especially if you're struggling mentally with the Pokemon Unite matchmaking experience. Okay, so that's the top tips I have. It's super hard to compact these tips into 5, so with that, there are a lot more in-depth tips in my master video, which I have linked down below. That is all for today's video. Subscribe and click the bell for more Pokemon Unite guides, news, and tips. Like the video if you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching, trainers. Bye!